Good afternoon once again. My name is Brooklyn Ganaway. I'm the Diversity Program Assistant and Diversity Education and Resource Center Coordinator for the Office of Institutional Diversity. I'd like to begin this event by extending a special welcome to our guests. I kindly ask you to please hold all applause until each guest is recognized. When I call your name, simply raise your hand and be recognized. Our President, George Benson, members of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees in attendance, Mr. Don Belk, Mr. John H. Bush, Ms. Demetria Clemens, Mr. Frank Gadsden. The following members of the South Carolina House of Representatives: Representative Bill Crosby, Representative Chip Limehouse III, Representative Samuel Rivers Jr. I would like to recognize the Ganaway family. Mrs. Ganaway and children, please raise your hand and be recognized. I would also like to recognize the following dignitaries in attendance: the Honorable Dr. Lucille Whipper, Dr. Brian McGee, Chief of Staff and Senior Vice President of Executive Administration in the Office of the President, Ms. Elizabeth Castlebaum, Vice President for College Projects, Dean Valerie Morris of the College of Charleston School of Arts, Dr. Luesta Robinson, Dean of the Triton Technical College Palmer Campus, Ms. Cecilia Gordon-Rogers, Executive Director of the Charleston Progressive Academy, members of the College of Charleston faculty and staff in attendance, members of the President's Community Advisory Board in attendance, members of the President's Commission on Diversity, Access, Equity, and Inclusion in attendance, and all other distinguished guests in attendance today. We are gathered here today in honor of the late Eddie Ganaway, class of 1971, who has distinguished himself as the College of Charleston's first African-American graduate. The Diversity Education and Resource Center, affectionately named DIRC, is to be dedicated to Mr. Ganaway in recognition of his significant contributions to diversity and to the College of Charleston. Dr. John Bello, Associate Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer of the Office of Institutional Diversity, will provide the welcoming for this auspicious occasion. Following Dr. John Bello-Abenu's welcome, College of Charleston President P. George Benson will provide remarks. This will be followed by a few words from Mrs. Elizabeth Ganaway and family, a special video presentation and historical and alumni perspective from Mr. Otto German. The Honorable Dr. Lucille Whipper will provide closing remarks prior to the ribbon-cutting ceremony. I kindly ask that all speakers keep the length of their presentations limited to 2 to 3 minutes and to approach the podium immediately following the previous speaker. If at any point during the ceremony you need to leave, please exit to the rear of the room through the double doors, and a host or hostess will assist you if necessary. I would like to now invite Dr. John Bello to the podium at this time.
Good afternoon. President Benson, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the College of Charleston and the Office of Institutional Diversity, I'd like to welcome you to this very historic moment. This is a great day, and we should celebrate and rejoice. I believe it's a great day in the history of the university. For those of us who know too well the long history of the college, it's important for us to put this little event in context. However, I am the least qualified to speak to the greatness and the many contributions of Eddie Lee Ganaway to the history of the college. I will leave that to those who knew him best. As the Chief Diversity of the college, I also truly believe that we are about to witness a new beginning in about a few minutes. We know that no one can adequately describe to the immeasurable contributions of the late Eddie Ganaway to diversity in the history of this college. But I think it is safe to say that when all is said and done, based on what we have read and heard and known about him, the honor that is about to be bestowed upon him is very befitting for a man who gave so much to his alma mater. I know this for sure. Eddie A. Ganaway deserves the lasting honor the college is about to bestow upon him this afternoon. Albert Camus once said, and I quote, "If at all men cannot always make history have meaning, they can always act so that their own lives may have one." Eddie did exactly that. Based on my very limited and rewarding encounters with Eddie, and combined with what I've heard and read about him as a student, graduate, and as a citizen, there is no doubt that every aspect of his life was full of meaningful experiences and contributions. Finally, on behalf of my staff, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all those departments and individuals who helped to make this event very possible. First and foremost, thank you very much, President Benson, for your strong and unconditional support for the diversity of the college, but also for your strong support and prompt approval of my office request for this dedication event. You could have said no, but instead, you immediately, without any hesitation, said yes to me and to my office. For that, we are very grateful. I also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to my unbelievable, small but mighty staff, including our outstanding student workers, who day in, day out for the past several months, including weekends and late nights, worked very, very hard to make this event a memorable one. At this point, I'll ask my staff to please raise their hands so that they may be recognized for a job well done. I'd like to give quick thanks to all the departments who have worked very hard to make this event possible. It is indeed our community affairs. Many thanks to the Division of Marketing and Communication, Office of Alumni Relations, Office of Institutional Events, Office of Trustee Furniture Clements, and so many other individuals who, behind the scene, gave us their personal, moral guidance and support, as well as their financial contributions. To them, on behalf of the Ganaway family, and on behalf of the College of Charleston, thank you for your immeasurable service, and I am indeed very grateful for giving me this opportunity to lead the efforts for this event. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Pleased to see so many people here. It's wonderful. Special welcome to Elizabeth Ganaway. Dedications like this are always very special days. Sorry. Dedications are always special days on college campuses like this. They provide an opportunity for reflection back to the past, on where we've come from. There's also an opportunity to look on into the future. They represent the completion of a vision, but very often and they inspire renewed energy in our faculty and our staff and also in our students. And this is such an occasion. But fundamentally, a dedication is all about progress. It represents progress, where we come, where we're going. Over the past 50 years, the college has made significant and important progress, I believe, in becoming a more diverse institution. While we are clearly not yet where we need to be, we will get there, I promise you that. On April 20th, 2012, the college's Board of Trustees approved the first diversity strategic plan in the 243-year history of the College of Charleston. This plan is guiding the college as we speak, as we work hard to develop a campus community where diversity and access, equity, and inclusion will be recognized and embraced by everybody. We want it to be part of institutional culture, but we're not there yet. We will get there. One example of our progress is our Diversity Education Resource Center, which you heard a little bit about already, which is known by the acronym DIRC. And it's part of the reason that we're gathered here today. DIRC promotes different types of diversity, from racial diversity, to cultural, to religious diversity, by making public a wide range of books and videos and global artifacts. It's an important academic resource for the college, and hopefully it will become an important academic resource for our community as well. And it's an appropriate way to honor the legacy of the first African-American graduate of the College of Charleston, Ganaway. Eddie started at the college in January 1968. While he experienced both personal and academic challenges, he persevered. The strength of his character and the guidance and encouragement of his professors made all the difference. And his graduation from the college was a testament to the power of his tenacity, his dedication, and his hard work through those years. Eddie was a model alumnus and one of the strongest supporters and champions that the college has. He gave freely, both financially and of his time, and always made it a priority to participate in college events. In December 2007, during my second graduation ceremony here at the College of Charleston, we had the honor of awarding Eddie a Doctorate of Humane Letters degree for his many contributions to the college and to society more generally. Ted Stern gave Eddie his honorary degree that day, just as he had given him his bachelor's degree back in 1971. It was a very, very special occasion. We're all beneficiaries of Eddie's transformational impact on the college, as will the generations ahead of us be. He helped jumpstart our diversity efforts, and we are a better university because of Eddie. It is our responsibility and it is our challenge to continue Eddie's work, particularly in making the College of Charleston institution as open, welcoming, and accepting of all peoples, of all backgrounds, and of all religions. With the dedication of the center today and the continued implementation of our diversity strategic plan, we are well on our way. With your help and with Eddie's guidance from above, we will make it. Thank you all.
God, my Lord and Savior, Dr. P. George Benson, President of the College of Charleston, Dr. John Ballow, Aguno, Senior Associate Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer, Associate Vice President and Chief Deputy Officer, House of Representatives, Representative Bill Crosby, Representative Chip Limehouse III, Representative Samuel Rivers, Jr., the Honorable Dr. Lucille Lipper, Community Perspective, Ms. Rochelle R. Johnson, Diversity Program Coordinator, and the entire staff of the Diversity Program, Diversity Program Coordinator and entire staff of the current College of Charleston Office of Institutional Diversity. Other dignitaries of the College of Charleston, officials, alumni, deans, head, pastors, clergy, family, and friends. I will be sharing a short writing from myself and Eddie's and my 3 children. What does the naming of the center means to Eddie's legacy at the College of Charleston and to our family in general? The naming of this center will allow Eddie's legacy at the College of Charleston to continue to make a meaningful, lasting, and energizing contribution to humanity by serving a cause greater than himself. Our family is elated. Words just not adequate in conveying how we feel about having a center that Eddie was so passionate about named in his honor. We are humbled and appreciative to everyone who made a seed turn into a reality. Tanya wrote, "The college renaming the Diversity Education and Resource Center after my father is indeed a great honor. I am proud of the college for all it has done to promote diversity throughout the years. I am even prouder of the fact that my father was an integral player in the diversification of the college. Thank you, College of Charleston, for honoring my father in this special way. My prayer is that every student that passes through your halls will forever know what this center represents and a little about the man it is named for." Cross wrote, "Daddy was an academic in his heart. The College of Charleston presented his first opportunity to share the academic environment with students of all races. They had the same teachers, they used the same textbooks, they debated with each other. In this environment, he thrived and he knew he had arrived. It is so fitting that in the coming years, as students from wide and varied backgrounds come to the college seeking their validation, there will be a place named after Eddie Ganaway here to help them achieve it." Robert wrote, "My father receiving this honor, it touches me to the very core. It confirms the fact that you can do anything in life that you put your mind to, despite the obstacles. Having the center named in honor of my father makes me feel more than proud." Not only was Eddie Ganaway a superb father that touched his children's lives, it is evident that his life's work touched many other lives as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ganaway, for those very inspiring words and the words from your family. As a member of the OID staff, that means a lot, a whole lot. So thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to present to you a special video presentation.
the next phase of the program, I'd like to recognize, give special recognition to Ms. Ruben Vibbing. She produced and directed the video that you just seen, member of the Office of National Diversity. But special thanks to Trustee Demetrius Clement, who gave the idea to the office and helped us, guided us in making sure that the memory of Eddie Ganaway comes alive. Thank you, Demetrius.
Good afternoon. Thank you to the college community, family, and friends for joining us on this occasion. Eddie Ganaway fought for his country before reaching the steps of the College of Charleston. More than 45 years ago, the College of Charleston opened its gates to Eddie Ganaway and his dreams. It's been a long journey for us. Eddie Ganaway, class of 1971, paved the way for diversity at the College of Charleston and changed the institution forever. He stepped boldly on the campus of the college to help prepare the way for other minorities to attend and graduate. I was a recipient of his groundbreaking efforts, arriving at the College of Charleston in 1972 and graduating in 1975. Along with his significant contributions to the college, he played an instrumental role in the development and launch of the Black Alumni Caucus. Eddie Ganaway once said, "Love is root, branch, and stock of what and who we are. Nothing without it. Trust what is in you is hunger for beauty, truth, and goodness." That statement beautifully captures the mission of this center. It is an honor to be celebrating the dedication of the Eddie Ganaway Diversity Education and Resource Center, and humbling to think about what this center holds for tomorrow. In 2007, as you saw in this room, he offered words of advice to the graduates. Take those steps toward the future with determination and strength. But warn, moving the universe or making money by the bushel won't be enough if you have no purpose and meaning in life. Eddie Ganaway's life-giving legacy reminds us of questions that we must continue to ask. How do we ensure that our initiatives are promoting and improving diversity, access, equity, and inclusion throughout our campus community? How do we prevent past failures from being repeated? And how do we pass on to the next generation a sense of the importance of not being indifferent? Today, in dedicating this center, we remember Eddie Ganaway. We show our gratitude and we reaffirm our commitment to the legacy of humanitarian work that continues in his name. This is a proud moment for the college and the Ganaway family, and it is an exciting new chapter in the history of College of Charleston. Thank you to Dr. Bella Boone and the Office of Institutional Diversity for spearheading this initiative. The story of the center, the Eddie Ganaway Diversity Education and Resource Center, has just begun. May all who visit the center learn of his testimony. He was a humble, spiritual man. He ended his commencement address with the words of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am born a resounding gong on the kindly symbol. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not moved. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. May future generations come to learn about the legacy of Eddie Ganaway, a legacy of faith, a legacy of hope, a legacy of love, and the greatest of all is love.
Protocol already established. Good evening. Life is an unknown journey. Life is not the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it is. The way you cope with it is the difference. Maybe makes a difference in the way you handle things. I had fond memories looking at the video, seeing the big afro. This reminded me when I had here. I was here virtually during the same time period the Eddie was here. I got here 2 years before I did. Today is a historical day for the College of Charleston. And many of us present today know the history of the college as it relates to blacks many years ago. To be exact, 46 years ago. There was a time when blacks couldn't set foot on the properties of the College of Charleston. 6 years ago, the College of Charleston celebrated 40 years of integration. Eddie was there. Carrie Hasbrook Gill was there. Rivers Harper was there. And Dr. Whipple was there, just to name a few. Eddie Ganaway was way ahead of his time. So many years ahead of his time. He was a remarkable visionary. He genuinely cared about his fellow men and positively impact on anyone who had the fortune to listen to his words of wisdom. He cared about people in all walks of life and was a difference maker who could make people and things change for the better. He was a small man in stature, but a giant of a man, as one of the trailblazers who paved the way for me and many other blacks to receive an education from the College of Charleston. Eddie was blessed with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and generously blessed others with these gifts. He was intelligent, so intelligent that Eddie was using words that Webster probably had to discover. He was articulate, peaceful, loving, and caring. He personally valued education and appreciated the values of a good school. And he was one of the founders of the Black Alumni Caucus that we presently have here at the College of Charleston. His legacy will forever be remembered with the renaming of the University Education and Resource Center to the Eddie Ganaway University Education and Resource Center. Thank you.
Good afternoon. To Dr. and
Johnson, and to Dr. Law, and to all of the staff and members of staff and faculty at the College of Charleston. When I was asked to be present and meet in March, I remember as a high school student walking through the campus, George Street, because I lived on the east side. And I would look over the fence, and I thought about this great institution. And then when I became a high school senior at Avery Institute, most of the classes decided, since at that time the college was a municipal college, that this college would be open to everyone. And so we applied to the college for admission around the spring when you were to college. And during that same year, I don't know how the Great Fathers did it, but the college changed from being a municipal college to a private college. And we were not admitted. So when I think of Eddie Ganaway, he broke down that barrier. And for that, we are grateful. And there, if we think of all that has been said, I can't add anything to it, other than to sort of summarize some of the characteristics that were brought out by the other speakers. First, recognizing his family. I knew many of the family members. We were neighbors, and I say neighbors in the North area for some time. But his love for family. After his love for God, I think love for family is what we should remember. But one of the characteristics that I would want each of us in this room to remember is love. How many emphasize love? Love to Eddie was not just a word, but it was a word with action. And he was committed, he was dedicated, and he was long-suffering. I would like for each of us present this afternoon to remember what one committed person can do. We have always felt in this community during the time that we couldn't come, and now when we can come because of the excellent program that this staff and the director of the university they have put in place. And each time I receive information about what they're doing, I say, Lord, I can't go at you, some of us will be there. When we decided that we would try to establish the Eden Research Center, the problem was with the community. They say, we can't trust those people over there. Why do you want to be connected to the College of Charleston? The answer was that the college was our college, and that if things needed to be changed, then we are the person to change them. Eddie has shown us the way. And when you leave this place, I am hopeful that each person here always act as a watchdog. You are involved. Whatever happens that is opposed to all that Eddie stood for, then you are the guardian of what he has left for us. So you cannot leave this place feeling uncommitted. And I ask each of you to please keep this institution in mind as they seek to reach higher goals of diversity. This, I leave you with this charge. Thank you for being here.